Hey everyone, it's Agent Meat from Delta Tactical. I've just finished running a new character through Warlords of New York. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. One, I have paid attention to the comments, and a lot of the comments have indicated my watch level impacts the builds that I'm building in a way that a new player won't have benefit of. So the character that you see in front of you has been created and run through Warlords. I have not purchased any blueprints. I have not applied any watch levels to this character, and my intention is not to apply any watch levels to this character. So currently, I have spent nothing. My current watch level is 2879. I'm not going to put anything into scavenging. I'm not going to apply any of the perks to this character for the purpose of new and returning players' builds. How to initially, once you hit level 40, now what do I do? What kind of a build am I looking for? How do I advance my character? Those are the types of builds that I want to put videos out for in the coming few weeks. As far as what you see in the inventory, this is the best gear I've accumulated to date. I've gotten very lucky with some drops, which is why I have the Acosta's Go Bag. That came out of a Riker's chest right after I finished the Wall Street mission. I got an Eckham's long stick at some point. I don't know if that's going to stay in my secondary, but it's there for now. I crafted the Police M4. It's got okay rolls, and I did recalibrate it with Optimist. The Grudge has decent rolls. This is what I got when I finished Warlords. I haven't touched it as yet, and you can see I was with somebody. It's still showing as shareable. The rest of the gear, again, got very lucky with the Loot Goblin and got a Chill Out Mask to drop with crit chance, and it's got decent rolls. I'm running 2 armor on kill mods. Now, for full transparency, I got these out of my stash. These 2 came out of my stash anyway. The one that is on my Acosta's Go Bag, I got at some point through my run through New York. The rest of the gear are things that I've gotten as I've gone along. I've got a Fenris bag with Overwatch. I've got Overlord gloves with crit chance and skill haste. Fenris holster that I've recalibrated, and I was able to do 1 optimization with it, so that's the max I could get before I ran out of materials. The advantage I have again, and I other than creating a new account, there's no way around this. My recalibration library has almost all max rolls in it. So I was able to put on a max crit chance recalibration when I ran this through. The knee pads are Sokolov. This one rolled as you see it for weapon, or dropped with the weapon damage and crit damage, and I rolled crit chance on it. This is the gear that I'm going to be starting the game with when I go to Washington, which raises probably the most important point I want to make in this video. As of today, it's February 9th. Tuesday, when they did their evening maintenance, some aspects of the game are not working as intended. So there's a lot of players out there who are stranded in New York and cannot get back to Washington. So how am I going to get this character back to Washington? If I go into social and go to my clan tab, there are a couple of my clan members that are currently playing. Or at least they look like they're playing. They may not actually be. Yes. One of my clan members is playing. Assuming or knowing that they're in the White House, I could join group and I would be teleported to Washington to join them. That's excellent if you're in a clan or you have friends that are currently playing in-game. So what do you do if you're playing solo? The workaround that I've seen online that seems to be working for people is if you go to your map, go to Matchmake, Random Main Mission. Heroic is quite commonly played, so I'm going to matchmake on that, and we'll see what happens. Start it again. This time I'm going to try challenging.
Invite to another agent's group. Receive.
And again, this is random, so hopefully I get something that takes us back to Washington. Yes.
Authenticated.
There should be a terminal that'll let you reactivate
All right,
the
I'm going
node.
to fast travel to the White House,
Last radio contact.
and then I'm going to leave the group.
Has the location.
Entering safe area.
Well then. Bear with me for a second. I am going to quit the game and rejoin and see if I'm back in Washington after this. All right, we're back up and running, and that seems to have worked. We're back in Washington, so I've managed to get the character from New York to Washington. It's imperfect. It is a workaround that will work for you if you're a solo player. Going forward, this character is going to be used to demonstrate new and returning players' builds. There is so much to do when you first hit level 40. You're going to be putting together your first builds. You're going to be building up the points towards your specializations. You're going to be gathering materials, and you're going to be trying to get builds together that will allow you to take on challenging and heroic checkpoints so that you can round out your blueprints. There's a lot to do. So the intent with this character is to show you how I would go about doing this. It's not going to be the only way to do it, it's just how I do it. For those of you that are subscribed to the channel, the next build that I'm going to be showcasing is not going to be aimed at new players. The clan that I'm in has a lot of new and or returning players to the game. And the discussions that have been going on in our Discord are along the lines of, how do we get ready to do legendary content? Because we want to do it together as a group and as a clan. So we're starting to farm for builds or gear for builds that will allow us as a group to take on legendary content. I've got a couple builds that I've used when I join random groups for legendary, but they're more aimed at my own personal survivability because I don't know what kind of builds I'm going to come across once I get there. Now with them, I can tailor them slightly to whatever else is there, but the intent of the builds that I'm going to be showing over the coming few videos are going to be specific to the roles that we're going to be taking on. What we've decided is we're going to run with 2 DPS builds, a crowd control build, and a skill build based around the mortar turret. So crowd control as well, but higher damage. The build that I'm going to show next is going to be a Striker's DPS build. Once I've shown you that, I'm going to show you the crowd control build and how we're going to set it up. And then finally, I'm going to show you the skill build for the mortar turret. Coming videos after that will be more in line with new players. I am going to do some farming with this character. I'm going to start putting together the initial build that I'm going to use. I'm not going to spec into a different specialization yet, but what I'm going to do is put together a skill build that will allow me to take on challenging control points and run whatever specialization I want to be working on while I'm doing it. So a bit of a channel update, bit of a how the heck do I get back to Washington from New York if I found myself stranded there. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you are subscribed, please drop a like, comment the video, etc. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a good day.